Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video. Now, as always, people, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like, and I'll happily get back to you. Now, let's rewind a little bit. 4 years ago today, this happened.
Fat.
I'm not fat, muscle.
That's fat.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
Hey, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Grab it again, son. Grab it again.
I look at the weigh-in, though.
Grab it again.
How I look at the weigh-in,
We talking about now.
How I look at the weigh-in,
But you talking about how big
how I
you
look at the weigh-in,
It's
though.
fat.
But how I look at
Grab
the weigh-in?
that.
How I look at the weigh-in?
Yeah.
I guarantee I'm Christian.
It's crazy, right? This was 4 years ago. Errol Spence and Terence Crawford backstage at the Maurice Hooker fight, went face to face, literally had everybody getting excited that a fight between the two was on the cards. You know, both of them going back and forth at each other. We really did think that, you know what, we must be near to one of the biggest fights that can be made in boxing. And 4 years later today, as I do this video, we're still not any closer to these two getting in the ring. In fact, we're probably maybe even further away with these two getting it on, which is a shame. Do you know what I mean? Very disappointing. And we've waited literally the whole year. The welterweight division has been on standby, hoping that these two will be able to get it on. There was some positivity going around that, you know, maybe they would get it on in November. That's not happening now. As you know, negotiations literally were ongoing between the two camps. Crawford, since becoming a free agent after last year, it was looking positive that a deal can be made. However, they've now gone in their opposite direction. Terence Crawford will be fighting David Avanesian in a couple of weeks. And Errol Spence has now been mandated to fight Keith Thurman, which could take place early next year. So if we're being optimistic about this and we believe that this fight between the two can still happen, it's going to look like spring, summer at least, you know, and even that is quite optimistic. So I don't know, man. Is it time for us to now forget about this and move on? Because like I said earlier, the welterweight division has literally been on standby waiting for these two to get it on. Both of these two guys hold all of the major belts at the welterweight division. Errol Spence holds 3 of them. Terence Crawford holds 1 of them. They're clearly the 2 best welterweights in the division. On the top 5, on my top 5 anyway, 2 of the top 5 pound for pound fighters in the world. Yet we haven't managed to see it. And this is the big problem with boxing, man. Said it loads of times on here. You hear it from everybody else as well. When they bring up the whole boxing and UFC argument, or when you speak to a casual fan, these are some of the reasons why people get turned off boxing. And there's a lot of reasons to be turned off boxing, if we're being honest. But this is one of the reasons why people get turned off. Because a fight of this magnitude, a fight which pits 2 fantastic fighters against each other, 2 undefeated champions, we should be seeing this. And 4 years to that day when they went face to face backstage, we ain't any closer to seeing it. So my question to you guys is it time we move on? Is it time we, you know, cut our losses with this and just move on? Because I saw Terence Crawford did an interview, I think it was with Kate Abdo, and he seems prepared to move on from what I see. Errol Spence has spoken about moving up. He said it's difficult to make welterweight, but it was Terence Crawford's words that got me, where he said that this fight here doesn't define his legacy. Well, newsflash, Terence Crawford, it does. If you two guys are not able to get it on, this is a stain on both of your legacies, man. I'm not saying that you haven't achieved a lot. I'm not saying that you won't go down in history for what you've achieved. But listen, this is the fight that everybody wants to see. We've been strung along for like 4 or 5 years for this to happen now. And yeah, maybe it's not all your fault. Whatever the situation is, boxing fans don't care. We just want to see you guys get it in the ring and fight, man. But as of now, I'm starting to think that maybe we might have to cut our losses with this one and move on, because there are a lot of up-and-coming young welterweight contenders out there. You look at Jerome Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. Those 2 guys are, you know, they're hungry, they're ready, they want all the smoke. They're both undefeated as well. They look like they have a bright future, not just in the welterweight division, but as a potential superstar in boxing, the both of them. So they're going to want to get their shot. They've patiently waited this year for these 2 to get it on, and nothing's happened. So while the whole division has been on standby, I don't think we could see a repeat of that next year. And I think that the sanctioning bodies will actually step in and start mandating them to fight their mandatory challengers. We're already seeing it now with Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. So disappointing. and it's just very like, you know, you can't really. At this stage, I don't care. I don't want to point the finger at anyone. Like, you know, you've got Crawford's team blaming Spence. You got Spence's team blaming Crawford. Like, a lot of finger pointing going on. But you know, this doesn't benefit anybody. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I just feel like we're at that stage now where, listen, if the fight gets made, great. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's great news for the sport. It's what we need really in terms of getting the big fights on. But you know, we may have to start thinking about cutting our losses here if these two don't get it on, man. So let me know your thoughts about it anyway, man. Just thought I'd drop a quick video on this. I only really came across this when I went on Boxing Scene today, and I was thinking about what videos to do for the channel, and I saw that I was going to do a Spence-Crawford video anyway, but then I saw obviously that today was the day when they actually met backstage, and you know how famous that was. So yeah, man, disappointing. But my last question for you guys on this video is, do you think that this fight will ever happen as well? So 2 questions. Shall we cut our losses? And do you think that this fight will happen? Let me know in the comment section below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.